Last week I was asked a question about eagle pose and whether eagle pose should hurt the back. And the quick and dirty answer is no, eagle pose should not hurt the back. And it's not surprising that it might, because so much of the issues that can arise with eagle pose have to do with compensatory patterns that are happening under our level of awareness. And until someone makes it known to us that we are compensating or that we're moving it appropriately, we just keep doing what we're doing. So for this particular video clip, I want to look at one area of compensation that happens a lot in eagle pose, and it's right in and around the pelvis. But before we do it, let's just break down eagle pose just as a reminder. We all know that to get into eagle, we lift a leg, we bring it across, the standing leg bends a little bit, we let that leg drop in, and then we hook into with the foot, and the arms come up into the position. It's a great, complicated, and complex pose because there's so much that's happening within it. Now, oftentimes what occurs is that when we lift this leg up and bring the leg across and drop it down, this pelvis actually drops to bring it in. So it's not even that we lift it and bring it across, it's that we lift it and then the pelvis drops as you hook in. And then as you hook in with that foot, then the pelvis might come back up again. Or we bring the arms into the position and then we hook in with that leg to help bring that pelvis back up. Now, you might be looking at that and saying, well, we're coming back into alignment. That might be a good thing, or it must be a good thing. And the response that I have from all my experience of working with teachers and working with students and helping people get out of pain is that when someone has done something like that with their pelvis to get themselves into their position, they've compensated to get there. They haven't utilized the leg bone in the hip socket on this free leg, and then the movement through the hip, the knee, and the ankle on the standing leg. And so they either lack the mobility or the stability or the strength through the standing leg to be able to smoothly and with coordination set themselves up into that crossed position into the eagle legs, so that they move the pelvis to get there rather than moving in the joints where they're meant to be moving. So then when you bring yourself back into alignment, all you've really done is you've compensated for one, and then you've compensated on top of that initial compensation. So you think that you've done the pose, that you're in the shape, however, you actually haven't moved the body parts that you were actually meant to move to get there. So you don't gain the mobility and you don't gain the stability or the strength that you're hoping for, and the increased opportunity for stuckness, for feeling hurt, and perhaps getting injured goes up. Right? Because the aim of eagle is not to move the pelvis relative to these parts of our body, it's to keep the pelvis relatively still and move through the legs and the pelvis, the knees and the ankles in the lower body, and then through the arms and the shoulder girdle in the upper body. So what can you do to improve these movement components within eagle? I highly recommend working with someone who's got a keen eye, or just using a mirror. And then to move your leg bone in all the various directions that you are required to do eagle. And notice when you're moving one part of your body more than the other, the one that's necessary. So noticing maybe you're driving with the foot to bring the leg across your body. Maybe you're driving with your pelvis to bring your leg across the body, as opposed to actually moving your leg bone across the body. Also notice where you're holding more tension in your body, or you're overutilizing your jaw, or are you overutilizing your eyes? Like, are they getting hard? Is there any other part of your body that really ought to be softer and more quiet that's getting in on the game and it really ought not to? So explore that. Really have fun with it, because eagle pose is one of those positions that, you know, it sounds corny, but you really can take off with it. You really can fly with eagle pose because there's so much going on with many of your joints, and it's such a great mobility, stability, and strengthening exercise. So have fun on your mat. Have fun exploring it, observing and feeling your body, and I welcome your comments below. Thanks so much. Have a great one.